Transformation is one of the major themes of Scorpio season and for November 2020. Transformation involves a lot of uncomfortability because we are being forced to acknowledge and address endings and certain deaths to things in our lives. For you, Capricorn, you guys are undergoing a very personal transformation. Things are finally coming into focus and you can finally start to see things clearly, which is going to change your outlook on life and your very being forever. Are you ready to learn all about it? All right, let's go. What's up, Capricorn? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. As always, my name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, Capricorn, this is going to be the astro forecast and taroscope for the month of November 2020. Just like every other month this year, November is intense. I feel like the word intense is the key word for 2020, and November is no exception. Apart from the majority of the month being in Scorpio season with the sun in Scorpio, an intense sign already, we also have a conjunction between Pluto and Jupiter, a new moon in Scorpio, and we end the month with a bang with a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. So again, there's a lot going on this month, a lot of shifting energy. But again, the whole point of all of this, right? It's not like we're just going through hard times and craziness for no reason. All of this is taking us to where we need to go. Things that are not serving us, whether they be in our personal lives or in the world and society as a whole, are being moved around and shifted so that we can have this new beginning, right? We can have this new beginning with a new program, with a new paradigm, with a new story and narrative. Don't forget that, because that's the whole point of this. It's not just like, okay, we're just going through all of this shit for no reason. This is taking us to where we need to be. And change is uncomfortable. We all know this, right? Change is uncomfortable. You have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to experience change. You have to do things you haven't done before in order to have things you've never had before. We all know that saying, right? So that's why all of this craziness is going on. And this is a good segue into the whole theme of Scorpio season. The last week and a half of the month is definitely Sagittarius season, but there's something about Scorpio season this year that is just more powerful. I feel like the lessons and the themes of Scorpio season are really emphasized this month. And the major theme along those lines is death and rebirth. Endings and beginnings. That is the theme of November. And this isn't anything new because we have a Scorpio season every year, right? And November is a very big month to venerate our ancestors, to acknowledge the dead, to acknowledge spirits beyond the realm, right? In many cultures, the entire month of November is dedicated to our ancestors, to the dead, because they cannot be forgotten. Right? We have to remember them. We have to, they live on through us. And not only can they help us from beyond the realm, but a lot of them need our help too. And with the veil being at its thinnest during Scorpio season, it's the perfect time to commune with spirit and get this wisdom, insight, and sort of direction when it comes to our lives. So Scorpio season, again, real intense. Now, it's very interesting that I talk about death and rebirth because we're all experiencing this in various areas of our lives and in different ways. A lot of us, there are parts of our personality, there are parts of ourselves that need to die away in order to make room for new things, the things that we want in life, the things that we desire. A lot of times can't manifest in our life because we've got old shit just lying around, whether that be emotions, whether it be people, whether it be places, whether it be things that we've got that we need to address and clean house in order to make room for all of this new stuff, right? And really, that has been the theme of the new moon in Scorpio, which we had earlier this week. I know I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm already getting to the middle of November, but it bears mentioning that this new moon was extremely powerful. New moons are all about setting new intentions. It's all about planting new seeds. It's all about newness, right? The new moon phase of the moon is the start of the lunation cycle. So new moons are all about starting something new. However, this particular new moon, especially in line with the theme for Scorpio season, given that this new moon was in the sign of Scorpio, it was more so about endings than beginnings. It was about acknowledging endings and paying attention to the things that need to go in our lives and the things that are ending in our lives, because ultimately they're making room for us to manifest the things that we want. Again, powerful energy. I'm going to put a link to my new moon in Scorpio video so that you guys can check that out and hear all about it. I'm telling you that the energy from that new moon, I'm still feeling it. I started feeling it probably a week and a half before the new moon, and I'm still experiencing that new moon energy. So it's here for a while. Typically they say it's about 3 days before, 3 days after, but I feel like it's amplified. And so you're going to be feeling that energy for a minute. So definitely check out that video and learn all about it. But anyway, Capricorn, this video is about you, right? So let's get into the astrology for you for November so you can, get a sense of what's what, right? All right. So first and foremost, you guys have a strong emphasis on your 11th house this month. The 11th house covers friendship. It covers your role in groups like social groups, industry groups. It also covers goals and wishes come true. It's a very social house, right? It's right next to the career house, and it's all about how you socialize with people, how you identify as part of a group, your role in society, right? And that's where most of the emphasis is. That's where the emphasis is for you, Capricorn, for November, because we've got the sun in Scorpio for most of the month is going to be in your 11th house. We have Mercury, which is in your 11th house. We have that new moon in Scorpio in your 11th house. And by the end of this week, Venus is going to be transiting into your 11th house. So you've got 4 planets mixing, mingling, chilling, all of that good stuff in your 11th house. So this month, a lot of you are experiencing things related to friends, friendships, people around you, and also perhaps the goals and the things that you want to achieve. Now, Capricorn, as a sign, you guys are very serious. Not only are you very serious, y'all are about your money, y'all are about status. So when it comes to goals, you guys are very goal oriented. It's all about reaching the top of the mountain. The symbol for Capricorn is the sea goat, and the goat, greatest of all time. Don't get gassed though. Don't get gassed, all right? Greatest of all time. Your main objective is to get to that top of the mountain, and you guys will do it by any means necessary. So you guys will put in that work. You guys will persevere in order to succeed. You guys are very success driven. You're very ambitious. So it doesn't surprise me that perhaps this month you are really focused on the things that you want to achieve in this life. It's like your wishes come true. The good thing being that this is your 11th house of goals and friendship and all of that, and the fact that it's in Scorpio, I feel like what November means for you is that you guys are really going to look under the surface, right? right? You guys are going to dive deep in order to figure out how to have those things that you want in your life. Scorpio is a detective. It's a private investigator. It searches for the truth. It wants realness, authenticity. It's nothing superficial. So I feel like this month, when it comes to trying to achieve what you want, to make your dreams come true, you guys are going to attack it from a place of authenticity, realness, and sort of like comprehensiveness. You're not just going to think about how to do things from a superficial level. I feel like you guys are really going to figure out, how does this really work? What do I really have to do? Scorpio is also a sign of power. Scorpio is associated with the planet Pluto, and with Pluto brings this issue of power. And I feel like a lot of you are going to experience or think about or focus on where your power lies and how your power works to help you get what you want in life. I feel like that is what November is going to be about. Additionally, being that there's this 11th house emphasis with your friends, I think that a lot of you are going to be examining who you really have around you. Like, who are they really? Maybe you interact with a lot of people on a superficial level, and I feel like now you're just going to want to really get to the heart of the matter and see who people really are. Some of you may also be experiencing some sort of power struggle within your friendships and within your within your group memberships. Perhaps there is a group that you're a part of, and maybe you want to be the head of that group. Maybe your goal is to be the leader, right? Maybe you're going to be experiencing some power struggles, or at least your consciousness is going to be aware of how your power has been limited or what you can do to amplify your power when it comes to those things. So I feel like that's how the month of November is going to play out for you, at least until we get into Sagittarius season. By the end of November, the sun is going to shift into the sign of Sagittarius, and it's going to move, and the sun is going to move into your 12th house of solitude, confinement, and rest. Anytime, the season right before your solar return. So for Capricorn, Sagittarius season is the season before your solar return. And during that time, that is when everyone goes through an isolation period. It's a time where you sort of withdraw from the world, where you rest, recharge, because your new season is about to come up. And it's also like your personal new year is about to come up. So Sagittarius season for you is going to be isolating. It's going to be reflecting. 12th house is very self-reflective, particularly thinking about how the past is going to affect your future. You know, anytime you have a new year, think about, you know, the actual new year, the Gregorian calendar that we all follow. When New Year's comes, what does everyone do? They make New Year's resolutions, things that they want to do differently in the year to come to change their lives. That is how 12th house energy is. And that is always happening in the season before your solar return. So once the sun moves into Sagittarius, you guys are going to be very self-reflective. You're going to be making plans for the future. You're going to be reflecting on the past, and you're going to be resting, recharging, and getting ready for another revolution around the sun. But that's Sagittarius season, and I'll get into that a lot more in my Sagittarius season videos next month. But in any event, let's get into the astrology of the month. I know I said that like 10 minutes ago, but let's get into the astrology of the month and see what else November has in store for you, Capricorn. So, one of the major happenings for November was this powerful conjunction between Pluto and Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn. If you guys have watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I've talked about this great conjunction, right? And this great conjunction is a conjunction between Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. All three of these planets have been occupying the same house, the same space, and their energies have been mixing and mingling. And this is heavy stuff. This is heavy energy. This conjunction was partly to blame for all of the craziness we've been experiencing in the world, especially in 2020. So all of the upheaval, all of the turmoil, all of the endings, pandemic, major energy shifts, a lot of that can be attributed to this great conjunction. Now, while this energy is very chaotic, it's very tumultuous, again, it serves a greater purpose. And that purpose is to sort of eradicate what we all don't need. in the world, eradicate those things that are not of our highest good, and help usher in this new age, this new paradigm, this new narrative that is ultimately better for us and of our highest good. So I feel like, and this great conjunction has been playing out throughout 2020 for the most part, I feel like we're sort of moving away from the destructive part of it, and we're starting to move into the constructive part of it. And I think this conjunction between Pluto and Jupiter sort of marks the beginning of that construction period. This conjunction is very fortuitous. In the midst of all of this chaos and turmoil we've been experiencing, this conjunction is actually like a gift. It's actually like a how do I put this? I just lost my train of thought. It's actually like a little blip of positive energy, right? Jupiter is the planet of abundance. It's the planet of good fortune. It's the planet of optimism and faith. It's very positive energy. Now, Pluto is an intense planet. It has intense planetary energy. It's associated with death. It's associated with the underworld. It's associated with power, but it's also amplification. And it's also this energy within death. Birth is inherent in death, and that is the energy that Pluto carries. So there's this great fortune, right, that's being amplified by the power of Pluto. And the theme for this conjunction actually is hidden treasure. And by hidden, I mean that it's treasure where you would least likely expect it. You would find it amidst things that are not so treasurable, right? Think of a diamond in the rough. Before diamonds are formed, they're literally just earth matter, something that we don't put much value towards. But you add a lot of pressure and time, and you get this beautiful jewel that's valuable, that's luxurious, and that we place a lot of value in. It's expensive too, right? That's sort of the theme for this conjunction. And the place where you'll find this treasure varies for everyone, but the main crux of it is that it's by going through the underworld that you're going to find this treasure. Now, what do I mean by that? Remember, I just said Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. It signifies the underworld. It's associated in Greek mythology, it's associated with Hades, the ruler of the underworld, right? And so, side note, little tangent that I'm going to go on real quick. If you look at the zodiac wheel is attributed to ancient Egyptian mythology. And in ancient Egyptian mythology, the sun would rise in the east and set in the west. But when the sun sets in the west, and before it can rise in the east again the next morning, it traverses the underworld. The sun moves through the underworld. And it is there that you will find your treasure. It's there that you will find your abundance, so that when you rise the next morning, you are reborn, right? That is sort of how this conjunction is playing out. For you, Capricorn, this is all happening in your first house. So that great conjunction is happening in your first house, the house of Capricorn. So there is a lot of self-development and changes to your very being that have been taking place at least since the end of 2017. Now, this could be changes to your physical appearance, changes to your health, changes to your mental attitude, your outlook on life, your point of view, etc. So for you, the underworld for you, Capricorn, is really going into your shadow self. It is within your shadow self that you guys are going to find your hidden treasure. So there's a lot of self-reflection, and this bodes well with the astrology of what I was saying before. The sun is currently in Scorpio in your 11th house, but once it hits Sagittarius season, the sun is going to move into your 12th house, which is a house of self-reflection. Capricorn, I feel like between now and the beginning of 2021, if you guys really do that shadow work, if you guys really traverse the underworld and really confront your shadow side, think about and address what hasn't been addressed, process it and release it, I feel like you guys are going to start your personal new year and the Gregorian new year on a completely different note, a better note than what you've experienced in the past couple of years. So that's how that conjunction is playing out for you in particular. Moving right along, we have Mars direct, which went direct on November 13th. Mars is currently in the sign of Aries and has been there since June, but it went retrograde in September. Now Mars, the energy of Mars is very powerful. It's very aggressive, combative. It's physical energy, it's vitality, it's ambition, it's drive. But you've been feeling kind of sluggish while Mars has been retrograde. But now Mars is finally gone direct. And for you, Capricorn, this is happening in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. So now if you guys have any home issues, home improvement projects, property you're looking to work on or improve, or property that you want to purchase, it's like all systems go now. This can also affect your close familial relationships as well. If there's anything that you want to change or initiate within your family, now would be a great time. Just keep in mind that Mars also carries with it the energy of combativeness and being defensive. So there could be more conflicts within your family, more conflicts and fights amongst family members. So keep that in mind with Mars going direct. But regardless, it's great energy to work with if you want to initiate new things and make changes with respect to your home or property that you own. Moving right along, we've got that new moon in Scorpio that happened back on November 15th. Again, I mentioned that earlier in the beginning of this video, but again, it's all about endings. It's all about having those endings, experiencing those endings, particularly as it relates to the goals and the wishes that you have, the things that you want to achieve in this life, and the groups that you associate with, Capricorn. So again, it's about those endings that need to happen in order to usher in those new beginnings. So keep that in mind. Check out that video if you want some more information on that. All right. And then on the 21st, this coming weekend, we have the sun moving into Sagittarius. That's when you're going to have that 12th house focus of solitude, of rest, of recharging. A lot of times that's when people start, meditating more, getting more into spirituality, connecting with God, with Source, whomever you believe in. But regardless, it's a time of rest and recharging and getting ready for your personal new year come Capricorn season in December. That same day, we have Venus moving into Scorpio again in your 11th house. Venus is concerned with value. It's concerned with attraction. It's also concerned with fairness and equality. And being that this is all happening in the sign of Scorpio and with your 11th house, I feel like your friendships and associationships, if that's even a word, are going to come into play, and you're going to start to think of them as, are these reciprocal? Not only do these relationships that I have with these friends and associates, do they reflect who I really am? Are they fair? Are they equitable? Those are the sort of themes that play out when Venus is transiting your 11th house, particularly in the sign of Scorpio. And again, it's about getting to the truth of the matter. It's about seeing what's really under the surface and examining them in order to determine whether they're good for you and of your highest good, or whether they need to go because they're not aligned with who you are. All right. And then finally, we end the month with a bang, with a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. For you, Capricorn, this is happening in your 6th house of work and health. Eclipses are the universe's way of moving things around in our life. Eclipse energy, when it's a full moon lunar eclipse, we're talking about things being taken out of your life. When it's a new moon solar eclipse, we're talking about things thrust into your life, all by spirit, all by the universe. 6th house of work and health, there could be issues regarding your work that just need to go. Certain aspects of your day-to-day routines. There may be things associated with your health that are going to be eradicated or really be brought to your attention so that you can eradicate them. Particularly with the great conjunction happening in your 1st house of self, and you getting ready to, you getting ready for Capricorn season. I feel like this full moon eclipse is really going to have an effect on your health and show you things about your health, or bring things up to bring your awareness to your health so that certain things can go, and so that you can really have the life, the literal life that you want. Okay? So that is how November ends. That's pretty much the astrology for November. If you guys want to know more and more details about this month, astrologically speaking, check out the link in the description box below for the November 2020 horoscopes. You'll find more detailed information, transit information, and information on your ruling planet. And don't forget, you can read for your sun, moon, and rising signs. Again, that link is going to be in the description box below, so check that out. All right. So now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you this month, Capricorn. All right. Ooh. First card out is no. And emphatically no. You see that exclamation point there? If you take a look at this card, it looks like there's some sort of angel or spiritual being that's coming to this person and saying no. So there's something you may be asking for, or more importantly, I feel like it's something that you've been waiting for that's not going to transpire, or that's not going to transpire in the way that you would have liked it to. And it's for your highest good. No doesn't always necessarily mean no. A lot of times no is like not now or not in that way. But let's get some more cards and see what this is about. Message in a bottle. All right. So I feel like this is a message that's coming from afar, or coming from some place that like sort of out of the blue. And I feel like it's a message of an emotional nature. Perhaps this is someone telling you no, or someone telling you something that sort of surprises you, like it comes out of the blue. But again, let's continue. Look at this. What was I talking about before? We've got health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. All right, so Capricorn, like I said before, there's a lot that's changing with respect to your person, whether it is your mental health or whether it is your physical health. Given the fact that we have this full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini, which is happening in your 6th house of work and health, I think more so than work, I think it's going to have to do with your health. And I think this has been playing out for you for the last 6 months, because full moons are also they're tied to new moons. So there was a new moon solar eclipse back in May of this year. So think back to May of this year and what was going on health-wise around that time. I feel like there's going to be a continuation of that with this full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini. But again, I feel like this has to do with your physical health that is sort of on the table for review. All right. We've got teaching and learning. What number is this? 57, which is a 12, which is a 3. Something about this message is like eye-opening for you. Oh, I forgot to mention, when I was shuffling your cards and when I was praying and preparing to do this video, I heard a song. And the song, I'm not going to sing it because trust and believe y'all do not want to hear me sing. It's that song that goes, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. And I saw like an eye doctor. You know that when you go to the eye doctor, that chart where they have you reading all those letters and numbers? It's like it suddenly came into focus. There's something, it's like now that the rain has dissipated, now the sun can come out and you can really see how things are. Something is going to be enlightening for you. And I feel like it's this message. I feel like it's this message, and that's what this teaching and learning is talking about. It's this seeing things clearly, having things like teaching and learning. The first thing that comes to mind is like understanding. There's something that you're now understanding, and perhaps it could do with your health. But I feel like just generally there's something that is coming into focus that you're finally understanding. You couldn't see it clearly before, whatever this thing is, and maybe it'll come out in the tarot what exactly this thing is. But you couldn't see clearly before. It was cloudy. It was almost like, you know when people have cataracts and then they have that surgery to remove them or reverse it or whatever it is, and then they can finally see clear? That's what I'm getting for you guys. All right. We've got Know Your Worth, and this is 1. Interesting, because there's going to be, we have that great conjunction happening in your 1st house, and you guys are getting ready for Capricorn season, which is also your 1st house. And Venus has been transiting and going around the zodiac wheel, right? In Libra season, okay, let's go back to Cancer season. Okay. Cancer season, Venus was I want to say since Cancer season, or since Venus has been in Cancer, there has been this theme about the value placed on your relationships, your role in relationships, whether they be your interpersonal relationships, business or pleasure, whether they be relationships that are at a distance from you, whether it be intimate relationships, whether it be work-related relationships or friendships. You have been learning about yourself, right? Because we have this great conjunction in your first house of self. Part of that, and I feel like it's been Venus's job since Cancer season to show you how your relationships are, what role you play in your relationships, and is that role fair, right? And up until and through Capricorn season, you guys are going to be learning and reflecting on your role in relationships. Scorpio season is all about showing you your friendships, associateships, and the truth about them. And all of this, think back throughout the year how your role in relationships have been. Have they been fair to you? Have you been fair to others? Regardless of what it is, you need to know your worth. And what does this say? Safe deposit department, myself and I. Value priceless. That's what you need to remember. When the sun goes into Sagittarius and you're in that 12th house energy, that's something that you definitely need to focus on. Your worth, particularly as it is reflected in relationships. Okay. And then we've got the moon. The moon is all about darkness. The moon is about this 3 and this 2 together make a 5, which signifies change. There's something about this card that's making me feel like this is the gate to the underworld. Remember I was talking about the underworld before, particularly as it relates to Pluto conjunct Jupiter, and how for you, Capricorn, the underworld is your shadow side. It's your shadow self. This is the gate to that. Like I said, once the moon moves into Sagittarius season, it's time for you to really do some shadow work. And this is the start of it. I feel like this video is letting you know that it's time to get into that mode. It's time to get into that shadow work, that shadow side of yourself so that you can understand it. Everything in life is not just love and light. Everything is not just positivity, rainbows, and unicorns, right? There's a lot of darkness and negativity in life, but it's not to be just avoided as though it doesn't exist. You need to know the shadow side of society and of yourself in order to understand it, to work with it, as opposed to just throwing it to the side, pretending it doesn't exist, because that is not going to solve your problems. Pretending it doesn't exist isn't going to make it go away. In fact, it might envelop you if you do that. The best way to deal with the shadow side is understand it, work with it. Light and dark together can produce amazing things. And that's why y'all need to really get into the shadow work, particularly once the sun moves into the sign of Sagittarius at the end of this month. All right, let's get into the tarot and see what we've got here. What else we got? All right. Right. We've got the Goddess of Cups. We've got the Daughter of Pentacles. Ooh, I'll take all these. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the Ace of Cups. We've got Justice. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. All right, so first off the bat, money looks good for y'all this month. This feels like 4th house energy. Remember I said that we have Mars in Aries, right? And this is in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. I feel like there is a home issue that y'all want to work on. For some of you, it's actually purchasing a home or purchasing property or finally moving in with someone. I feel like that is going to happen now that Mars has gone direct. Some of you may even be getting married or are about to get married. With this and this 10 of Pentacles, yes, some of y'all are about to get married. So if that's the case, congratulations. And there's this new start energy here. There's this new start. I like this for you, Capricorn. Yeah, I see some of you like pooling your money together with somebody, like perhaps someone that you're engaged to, someone that you're getting married to, in order to purchase this home or have this new beginning. But I feel like, remember I said this great conjunction is happening in your first house. So there's this personal transformation that you guys are experiencing. And I feel like it's time for you to just sit back and receive. It's definitely time for you guys to sit back and receive. That's that 12th house energy. That self-reflective energy. I feel like once you do that shadow work, it's like, this is how you're going to be. Like, this is how you're going to be. You're just going to be sitting and waiting for your cup to be filled. And then right under that, we have the Ace of Cups. Look, and your cup ends up being filled. And then it's almost like you're able to go out into the world with this new self-worth, this new value that you're placing on yourself. And you're able to have this brand new beginning. This is I can see clearly now the rain is gone. You see that crown of quartz, of clear quartz? Things are real clear to you. Whatever confusion you've had about a situation, for some of you, it may have to do with a marriage or a romantic relationship. Like, that is going to be made clear to you now. A way is going to be made for you to have this new beginning with this person. Others of you, remember how I said that Venus was going to show you about your relationships, right? And your role in them. And this is all going back to knowing your worth, right? I feel like some of you are going to start cutting people out that haven't been fair to you. Perhaps it's one-sided friendships. Perhaps it's people who take advantage of you, or they don't take care of your needs or address your needs. I feel like some of you are really going to like clean house when it comes to friends and people that, you know, you interact with. If they're not, it's like if they're not being fair to you, if they don't know your worth, if they're taking you for granted, I feel like y'all are just going to cut them out. Y'all are just going to cut them out. But there's this energy of this new beginning, right? And this coincides with what I was saying in the astrology before with, you know, getting ready for Capricorn season. I feel once Capricorn season starts, it's like you guys are going to have this whole new beginning, right? But it only comes as a result of having done the shadow work. If you don't do that shadow work, I feel like this may not even apply to you. Like, none of this will apply to you. And probably none of this will make sense to you. But if you're able to traverse that underworld, I feel like you guys will emerge a new person. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Look at this. This is beautiful. We have the Empress. She is pregnant with possibility. She can birth new things. She's abundant. Yeah, that shadow work is really going to pay off for you guys. Monetarily speaking, I feel like relationship wise, but more so, I feel like you're just going to be able to move through life with a new vision. It's almost like you've had less than perfect vision, and that's how you've been moving around. And now it's like you're finally going to the eye doctor. You're getting the perfect prescription for you. And now you're going to be able to see things so clearly. And in seeing things clearly, that's how you're going to be able to make the moves that you want. And that's how you're going to be able to have the things that you want. It's this clear vision. All right. Let's get some clarification cards here. All right, first, let's get one on this Goddess of Cups. Look at this. We've got the Lovers. So for some of you who have really wanted a relationship and haven't been able to have it, what I'm hearing is that, remember I said before, there's this, there's this no, right? I feel like in the past, a lot of you, when it came to relationships, when it came to things that you wanted, things that you were waiting for, because you see how she's just waiting there, you've been told no. And I feel like, again, by engaging in this shadow work and having this new vision, now you're going to be able to receive the love that you've been waiting for. For some of you, it's not love. For some of you, it may be business partnerships, business contracts, whatever it is. Whatever this relationship is, it's ultimately like a wish come true. And I feel like that's what you guys are going to get. And it's about receiving. The Queen of Cups is not someone who has to do much. She literally just has to sit back, put her cup out, and then her cup is filled. That's how you guys are going to be. But it requires you to chill for a bit. It requires you to get in that 12th house energy and rest up. It's within that space, it's within that energy that you're going to receive these things. Others of you, you could be getting into a relationship with a water sign. So that could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. All right. Let's get one on this Daughter of Pentacles. We've got the Nine of Wands. And it's interesting. You see how he's got this bandage around his head? His eye is all looking crazy. I feel like this is how you guys were before. This was that not being able to see clearly. And y'all have been through it. There's still a little bit left to go. And that little bit left to go is you doing that shadow work. But this was you before. Not being able to see clearly, being like disempowered, because you see he's got this magic wand, but it's not pointing up. Not being able to manifest what you want in life. I think because you couldn't see things clearly. But this shadow work is going to help you see things with 20/20 vision. All right. Let's get one on this Justice card. Oops. That one fell. I'm not going to take that. All right. Let's get one on this Justice card. Yeah, we've got the Five of Swords. This is my selfish card. This is people who don't have regard for other people's feelings. Someone who may hurt with their words. Someone who's very selfish about what they think and what they want. I feel like anyone who's like this in your life is going to, you're going to cut them out. Others of you, if you've been like this to other people, I feel like you're going to get like your karma. I feel like other people are going to cut you off if that's how you've been operating with people. All right. All right. Let's get one on this Ten of Pentacles. All right. Oh, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, you guys are going to do well, like money-wise, right? Not only by yourself, but in this partnership. I feel like money looks good for you individually and as part of a partnership. So like I said, y'all don't have to worry about money. Your money looks good. It's only getting better, right? It's only getting better. Okay, you guys have some great energy here available to you. And look, at the bottom of this deck, we've got Justice again. Yeah, we've got Justice. Some of you are really about to get married. And it looks like that sort of justice of the peace kind of wedding. Something, very just official. But I do see a lot of you getting married or taking the steps to get married. Again, if that's the case for you, congratulations. But yeah, your money looks good. You can see clearly now. And you can poise yourself to receive all it is that you want. You just have to do that shadow work. You got to do that shadow work. All right, let's get 3 astrology cards to close out the reading. For Capricorn, let's get 3 astrology cards. These cards don't want to come out. Interesting. All right. We've got North Node, Destiny. All right. So there's this element of fate that is sort of weaving its way through this entire story. Check out your birth chart to see where exactly the North Node is for you. I feel like you'll be able to get valuable insight. And I feel like this is all going to make sense when you realize where you are headed. If you'd like to order a birth chart from me with a full explanation of your soul purpose, your North Node, I'm going to leave that link in the description box below. So check that out. All right, let's get another card here. We've got fifth house, passion. Interesting. For you, fifth house is Taurus. So we just had a full moon in Taurus at the end of October. There may be something that happened during that full moon that illuminated your fifth house. It may have clued you in to what it is that you're really passionate about, what it is that you want to create, romance, and all of that stuff. So I feel like that may have been the case for you, Capricorn. All right, one last card. Wow, these cards really don't want to come out. Very interesting. I just heard that's it. Like, that's all you need to know. Interesting. That's hardly ever happened to me before. But yeah, in any event, there's a lot of work to do. It seems like a lot because it's that emotional work that you guys may or may not be used to, right? But once you do that emotional work, once you take that deep dive into the underworld, face your demons, face your shadow self, it's almost like your life can completely turn around. You will have clear vision. You will know exactly what you want, where to go, and you're not going to be hearing no anymore. It's like things are going to fall into place, and all you have to do is sit there and receive it. All right? So definitely take that advice, Capricorn. Do that shadow work, and I feel like you're going to have a very new and wonderful personal new year. All right, Capricorn, that has been your astro forecast and taroscope for the month of November 2020. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. If you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me or order a personalized astrology report, those links are in the description box below, so check those out. They're wonderful. Clients love them, so don't miss out on any of that. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead where I do a quick and dirty tarot read as well as a quick and dirty astro forecast for the energies of the upcoming week. I'll leave that link in the description box as well, so click on that so you can follow me over on Instagram. As always, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. Capricorn, if you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, and trust and believe, tips are always appreciated, I'll leave that link in the description box as well so you can check that out. Capricorn, my loves, as always, it is a privilege and an honor to read for you. Thank you so much for watching my video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.